Incredible evening. Hello, everyone. Incredible evening. How are you guys doing? I missed my one yesterday. Had a lot going on. Had some things that I had to finish where yesterday was a deadline, so I was not able to come on. But I could not go and close out the week without our weekly Q&A. So here we are today. Better late than never, right? So hello, everyone. I am Shakeya, the professor of HSINK365. We are the parent company of Silhouettes Anonymous, which is the online platform where I have been teaching you guys how to use Silhouette Studio for the past 8 years. So learning like the beginning parts of it, how to master it, and teach you different designs and the foundations of some of the tools. So there's a lot of videos, everything from t-shirts to print and cuts to stickers to like 3D items I've made, just straight digital things, chip bags, logos, tags, you name it. There's probably a video somewhere in there. All were on Silhouettes Anonymous. We are also the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We currently carry sublimation paper that allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper or any type of cover sheet. So butcher paper, parchment paper, whatever you normally use for most applications, you don't need to have that on top. There's so many videos over on our Honestly Speaking YouTube channel where we have demonstrated how to use our paper, and you're able to use less ink and still get bright, vibrant colors with our paper and our ink as well. So we do have sublimation ink and also pigment ink for things such as stickers, labels, chip bags, and things of that nature, right? So check out our website, shop.hsink365.com for that. And then lastly, 365 Creative Academy, which is our online academy currently. Although I did have a student in-house, so we are slowly building up that in-person academy, because we actually did have a student in today, learning some things about designing and prepping for like shirts and stuff like that, and how to set it up for DTF or screen print or sublimation. So really, really great session, about 3 hours or so. So really, really great session. So we are building up to having more of our in-house sessions. So you can check us out on the 365 Creative Academy for those. So like I said, today is, or right now, we're going to do our weekly Q&A. And I do this as just a general help session. So if you're not able to take a class, or maybe right now you're really, really frustrated with something, maybe you have been watching tons and tons of YouTube videos, and now, because they always say YouTube University, it was YouTube University, Facebook College, and what did someone? I think someone called it TikTok Tech School, or TikTok Academy, or something like that, or whatever. Because there's a lot of like tutorials and like shorter videos on there, and like with the shorts and things. So if you've been watching these and you are frustrated, you can't figure something out, now you have someone on who could probably help you with that. If it's within my wheelhouse and I'm able to help, whether it's with a design software, about business, about marketing, about sublimation, eco solvent, regular printing cuts, those types of things, event planning. This is kind of our open, free for all Q&A to help you guys where you need help at in real time. All you're going to have to do is like this video. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, or if you're on Facebook, give it a heart, or, just some type of interaction over here on TikTok, double tap that screen. That's the only requirement. And then just post your question. If you are watching within a group, make sure that you do click on the video so that I can actually see your question. But yeah, that's all I have to do. And if I am able to, I will answer it. We're going to be on for no more than an hour. I promise this time. I really have this is I needed a break from all of the other stuff that I was doing, because it's close to me. And I'm very close to that situation and creating different things for it. So I still have to make some memorial cards and stuff like that. And it's a lot. I just needed a break from it, but I got to get back to work. So we're probably going to be on for no more than an hour, answering as many questions as possible. So don't wait until one question is finished before you post your question, because I do go through them and try and make sure that I did not miss anything. So do not hesitate to post your question. Post it early, right? Because as we get closer to that 1 hour time, the questions that come in there, if they are questions that require a lengthier answer, I won't be able to answer those. So get those questions in early. All right. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you have not done so already, maybe you've been here a couple of times, it's always great information. So always check your subscribe area and make sure that it is grayed out and it's not red. And make sure that you're subscribed and turn your bell on so that you're notified whenever I go live or whenever I release content. And if you're watching over on Facebook, you want to follow and then change your notifications to see first. All right. So we're going to get right into this so I can answer as many questions as possible. All right. So I don't see any quite yet over here. Actually, no, I just saw one come through. I saw one over here. So over on TikTok, I have an Epson 16600 and printed design yesterday that should have been blue, but it printed yellow. Why? So whenever you have a issue with colors, the first thing to always do is a nozzle check. So you can either do it from within your, go to your computer program and then go when you go to print, and then go to the last one, which is maintenance. And then there should be one there for nozzle check. Either there or on the second page, or just go straight to your printer and you're going to go to settings, maintenance, and you're going to do a nozzle check. That's going to tell you the current state of your print heads and let you know if a color is not printing, it's not firing off. So if it's supposed to be blue, but it printed yellow, that means your cyan most likely is not working. So if you do that, you're probably going to, like, your cyan is probably going to be non-existent if it was completely yellow, but blue on the screen. Once you do that and you identify the colors, eco tanks are a little bit tricky. So my recommendation would be first to do no more than 2 regular print head cleanings. Some people, when it comes to those, they will do purge files to try and force the ink through. If you do like 2 print head cleanings and you don't even get a smidget of blue, like if the cyan is all the way gone, you don't even get a smidget, it's a little bit more complicated. Whether you have to do a powder clean or you're going to have to open it up and try and draw the ink out, like, it becomes quite complicated when it comes to the EcoTank printers once a color stops working. But the first step is to identify if it is in fact a missing color by doing a print head clean. I mean, a nozzle check, not a print head cleaning, print nozzle check. All right. As far as why it stopped, I cannot answer why it would stop. If it has stopped, it can be a number of things. I'm not sure, how long you have been using it. I mean, how long, like, was there like a long break between using it? And sometimes the eco tanks backflow with air and it just stops printing. That's one of the reasons why I don't like eco tank printers. Okay. So let's see. Oh, and I forgot to say, I think there's a couple of you that said hello. So hello. How are you guys doing? She said, hey, stranger. Thank you guys for joining. Hello, tuned in, and afternoon from Houston. All right. So incredible evening. Hello. Thank you guys for joining. Hope all is well your way. Incredible evening, Silaholics. Well, I like how you put both of them together. Hello. Incredible evening. I love my paper. Did you see my TikTok using it? I did see it. I thought I liked it, but I did not. I think I saw the reel, not on TikTok. I didn't get a chance to respond because yesterday was hectic. What is the best printer for eco solvent? I'm not going to say what printer is like the best. I'm pretty sure you're probably asking about a converted one versus an actual eco solvent one. Although I'm not a fan of eco tank printers because they can back up. It doesn't matter which ink you put in there. For color purposes, eco tank printers work better, in my opinion, for eco solvent because they use dye-based inks over a workforce. Some people have used workforce. The results that I've seen, a lot of times the colors are washed out. So I'm going to always recommend some sort of eco tank printer if you're wanting to convert. But if you want an actual eco solvent printer, the least expensive one is going to be the Roland BN20A. And instead of it having a double magenta, it just has cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So just the 4 colors. And I want to say it might be around like 5,000 because I know the Roland BN20 is about 6. So those are going to be the least expensive actual eco solvent printers where you can not only print for shirts, but you can also print onto adhesive vinyl stickers and stuff like that. Okay. I hadn't used it in about 2 weeks. So yeah, that's probably why. But I've done that before without issue running print head. So don't just run a print head. Oh, so yeah, ran a nozzle check. There is no blue. Yeah. So try the print head cleanings. I've been watching your videos about converting the Workforce 7840. I'm trying to figure out the best thing to do with the ink that came with the printer. There's really nothing to do. I mean, so I always recommend that you start with the ink that comes with it, the cartridges, to make sure that it works. Should you need to use it for any type of maintenance and things like that, we had to do it, even mistakenly did a firmware update. Now we're having issues with magenta. I don't know why that one magenta is not working, but all the other ones are working. So he has to kind of put the magenta back in there to print off the shipping manifest. But you can always kind of just have that to the side. It's really nothing that you can do with it unless you want to use it up before you convert it for sublimation. if you can't sell them to anyone, like let's say, okay, hey, I don't want to use them on my printer, I want to sell them to someone. You cannot do that because they are initializing cartridges. They have an eye on them. So if you get them to someone else and they put them in their printer, it's going to say, hey, your printer's already been initialized. You can't do anything with these. So once you set it up, they just sit there. So there is no such thing as I think I just answered your question. There is no such thing as a chipless firmware for those particular printers. There's no chipless firmware. There's no chip resetter. There's no chip resetter. There is no auto reset for it. For the newer workforce printers, 7820, 7840, and 7310, you have to purchase replacement chips. No way around it. All right, so I have a Roland BN20. I have yet to find a comprehensive tutorial to help me successfully create cut lines. The machine is sitting. My husband is furious. Help. Okay, I don't use version 4.5. However, I have been told that when you use version 4.5, it will automatically technically do the cut lines for you. Well, like the line that you put on there, they will be cut contour. I can't say that it's true because I don't use version 4.5. With the version that I use, you will have to have like, and this is the way, like, I mean, pretty much anyone would teach you how to do it. As long as you know how to design, as long as designing is not your issue and simply doing the cut lines, if that is the issue, you are going to need not just Silhouette Studio, you're going to need Silhouette Studio Business Edition, and you are also going to need a software that you can set cut contour lines, meaning you're going to need either Adobe Illustrator, Corel Draw, Affinity Designer, Flexi. I think Inkscape allows it. I am not sure, but those are the four that I know for sure. So you are going to need Silhouette Studio, Business Edition, and Illustrator or Affinity Designer or Corel Draw or Flexi. So you'll need one of the four plus Business Edition. Okay. And because someone, I'm going to actually show some design things. There were 2 design questions that came in between today and between today and yesterday. So I'm actually going to do a live demo. And for one of them, actually for both of them, I can show you how you would end up setting that up in Illustrator. So just stick around for that. And then I'll show how you can do that and setting your cut contour lines. I do have a video on Illustrator and how to create your swatch. And then you have to set that as cut contour. It has to be a spot color and it has to be labeled capital C-U-T, capital C, and then contour. So it has to be labeled that way in order for it to actually pick up when you go over to the VersaWorks. Okay. But I will show that when I get into the design part. So I'm going to do it to show design, but then I'll show you how you can take it into Illustrator and then set it up for VersaWorks. Is it best to do firmware updates? No, they really serve no purpose. They have no benefits. For the most part, they really have no benefits. So it's not even worth it to do it. The update will keep coming up. You can always turn off that notification so you're not even notified and you don't end up making that mistake. If you have the older workforce printers or if you have an EcoTank printer, it's not going to make a world of difference. It, like, especially EcoTanks. EcoTanks don't know if you have dye ink, pigment ink, sublimation ink, EcoSolver ink, Kool-Aid, Hennessy, water. It doesn't know what you have in there. So you can do the firmware update and it's just going to still work. But now with the workforce printers, the old ones, again, it doesn't matter. If you have the new ones and you do the firmware update, it's going to kill the chips that are in there. So if you do the firmware update, you have to make sure that you have a set of Epson cartridges that you can put in that printer to do the firmware update if you choose to do it. but it's normally not necessary. There's no actual benefits to doing it. It doesn't change your settings. It doesn't, firmware does not affect your colors, people. It doesn't affect the vibrancy. It doesn't affect your drive. Like, drivers are different than firmware. Everyone needs to have their drivers installed, but firmware, no, you don't have to update that. And she says, not Hennessy. Thank you for tagging. See, that's what I'm saying. This is something. See, girl, you're my shero. Thank you for for tagging not one, not two, but three people to get this information. That is one of man, that's an amazing show of just support that, hey, y'all, the professor's on. So I love it when I see that you guys tag others that might need this. It's even more so than just sharing it out. Like, you're tagging them for them to come directly to the video. I love it. Thank you so much. So next question is best software to print sublimation designs, good sublimation paper in a bigger size. Not just good, incredible, absolutely, positively amazing sublimation paper would be, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. And it might seem like I'm a little biased, with that one, but no, it does. Please believe the hype. It does what it says it will do. Your colors will be absolutely amazing. And we have it from 8.5 by 11 all the way up to 13 by 19. You can go over to shop.hsink365.com to check out our paper, to order our paper. So that's what I'm going to recommend. Never hear me recommend anything else other than, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. Okay. She said, please believe the hype. Okay. So as far as best software, I'm not going to, the best software is what's going to be best for you. If it is simply to print out, each software, it can, I've seen like slight differences. If you want to use like an actual, I'm not going to say that, because you can actually, contrary to what even I have said, you can't change it in program, but you can change the overall profile for your printer, no matter what program you're printing from. Like, you make it to where it's that profile again, no matter what. I print from Silhouette Studio. This was an order of bookmarks that we did, and I printed this from Silhouette Studio. These is for my grandmother's memorial cards, printed from Silhouette Studio. The shirts that I did last week, printed from Silhouette Studio. That's my program of choice. That's the one that I teach. I was looking for this. That's the one that I teach consistently. And it doesn't, I don't have major issues. Now, I also use workforce printers. You're always going to experience, it doesn't really matter which program you print from, you're going to experience an issue with certain colors when you're using an EcoTank printer. And as far as designing it, if you're not using color codes and you're using like Silhouette Studio and using Silhouette Studio's default color palette, your colors will be off. You need to use a color chart. So for me and how I design, it doesn't matter what program I print from, because I understand how to set it up in each program. Now, if it's something that was pre-designed, if the designer designed it in a program like Silhouette Studio and they didn't use proper color charts and color codes, it's going to be messed up no matter what program you go into to print it from. So any program really will work. Thank you. Okay, so do you have a video on EcoSolvent versus SpINK? I do. So I did a video where it's called EcoSolvent, What's the Hype? I've gone through different videos talking about different processes, and they are not comparable as far as like one or the other. They are two totally different processes that give you totally different results. EcoSolvent printing can be the equivalent of doing sublimation to glitter HTV, doing sublimation with Easy Subli. If you wanted to be able to put a design printed from a sublimation printer with sublimation ink on a non-white polyester shirt, but still have it be true to color, that's when you're going to use, it doesn't have to be just eco solvent. That's any method. If you want anything to go on a non-white polyester shirt, can you sublimate to lighter colors? I mean, to certain color, some polyester shirts, yes, but it's not going to be the true color. The color of your garment is going to affect the total outcome, even on gray. If you want it to be true to color, it needs to be white and it needs to be high polyester percentage. Anything outside of that, and you want those true colors, you're going to have to use a method where it's a white base. So whether it is eco solvent, if it is printing with a regular standard printer, Jet Pro 3G, if it is DTF, if it is using sublimation to glitter HTV, sublimation to easy subli, these are all methods where you're going to either press a sublimation print to a white base, or you're going to print directly onto some sort of transfer. But eco solvent and sublimation is the only method that it's not topical, meaning you're going to take your hand over and you'll never feel the difference. Even with the best of the best, whether it's DTF or straight screen printing, you can see the difference and you can feel where the ink starts or the ink ends and the shirt begins. Like you can always, those are things that's called topical. HTV is topical. It's sitting on top of the fibers. Water-based sublimation means water-based screen printing ink can seem like it's into the shirt, but it still is kind of sort of topical. So they are night and day. And so you can't, it's not about the ink. The ink isn't what's important in that. It's the method, like what's the final results, if that makes sense. How does printing from the roll work? We're going to go over to Silhouette Studio now, because I think that's probably all the other questions so far. So we're going to go to Silhouette Studio. For me personally, I don't really use my rear feed except on my 7820 and 7840, because with those printers, to print 13 inches wide, you have to use the rear feed regardless. But from my 7720, I just put it in the front tray. If I'm using 8.5 by 11, or if I'm using my 13, I mean, not 8.5, if I'm using 8-inch wide paper, or if I'm using 13-inch wide paper, I just put it in the front tray and it picks it up and it just prints. What you'll have to do is just change your settings. And when you go to print, and you know how you have the drop down, it'll say 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, 11 by 17 tablet. It has all those different ones. There's something there that says user defined. You're going to click on that. I just set it to roll. It doesn't, with every Epson printer, you can print up to 47 inches long. The 8550, you can print up to 78 inches long. So I don't go and like, okay, let's say if I'm doing a stole, right? I might have that set to, I want to say it's 32 or 36. I don't go in and change that to 13 by 36. And then like the next time I might be doing a tie. That's only 24 inches. I'm not going to go in and change it 12 by 24. I have it just set up as a roll setting for 12.95 by 47. On my design page, I'm going to set that up for just 36 inches. And whatever is in that design page, it's going to stop printing. Like there's nothing else to print. Like I don't have anything at 40 inches. So once you have your design page, you're just going to send it to print. And for me, I just pull my tray out, set my paper in there, close it, and it picks it up. If I'm using the 7840, 7820, I put it in the rear feed and it just picks it up. So, but it's all in just your settings. So I'll show that once I go over to Silhouette Studio. We're going to go over there now so I can do these two designs and answer the question of cut contour lines as well as printing to roll. So we're going to kind of kill three birds with one stone. I hate that terminology though. I heard that analogy, but that's what we're going to do. When I say the goat, you definitely are. Thank you. All right, so let's head on over to Silhouette Studio, and we're going to flip you around. I'm going to turn my camera off. I mean, not my camera, my light off, because if not, it's going to be glaring. And so this is what we are going to do, because these were two questions that came up in various groups and then in my inbox. So we are going to be, take a design or take fonts and create the offsets manually. So it is kind of like like different athletic fonts, like collegiate and varsity and things like that. But because they wanted like a specific distance, I'm going to manually create this, because sometimes those fonts don't have the size offset that you want. But the main part of this was how to then have a two-tone. So I'm going to show how that's done. And then the other part was someone had this design here, like, well, this JPEG or PNG. This is in the version that I have the JPEG version, because I got it from her help question. But if you have the PNG, it's just going to be a transparent background, but the steps are going to technically be the same. All right. If you want the background removed, this is technically a pure white, so you really wouldn't even have to trace and detach. But I always recommend it just in case that box is not a pure white, because once you go to print it, if it's not pure white and it's kind of an off-white, that's going to, the print is going to put some color down, and when you press it to your shirt, you're going to see a box. So I do recommend that you always trace and detach. So that's what we're going to do, those two things now. And as you're watching this, if you have a silhouette related question, feel free to go ahead and put it in the comment section. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with the bunny. And as always, even though I've already done it once, this is what I tell every last one of my classes, every one of my students, we always duplicate, right? I stress that a lot. So we're just going to right click and we're going to duplicate and move this off to the side. So we want to move the outside of this, right? If it was a PNG and you have one of the latest versions of Silhouette Studio 4.4 or 4.5, and it was a PNG, there's like an automatic PNG trace. So if you have that on, you won't have to do this next step if it is a PNG with a transparent background. But if you have version 4.3 or earlier, even if it's a PNG, technically you don't really have to trace it, but you're not going to have the true size, if that, and I'll explain why. This is an issue that a lot of people have, even when it's a PNG. A PNG, you can't, like, it's transparent. So you can't see that there is extra space around it. So I'm going to use a box here, and right in here is extra space. It may seem very minute. That is what, 0.34. Sometimes it can be a half an inch of extra space. Sometimes it can be 1 inch of extra space. So when you go to size it and you print out, it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't line up. Especially when you're doing sublimation to glitter vinyl or something like that, it's not lining up, or I made this size, it's coming out the wrong size, it's smaller. It's normally because you haven't traced it to get rid of this extra space. So there's extra space here. There's even more extra space at the bottom here on the sides. So it won't go from here. It'll go from like the widest point, but there is extra space right here and on this side, right? So you'll see how different the sizes are. Well, it's going to be a little bit different. So I always recommend that you do a trace and detach, no matter what, because a trace and detach will give you the exact size that it is from one end to the other and from top to bottom. Okay? So we're going to come over to the icon that looks like a butterfly or looks like some jelly on a bread. You're going to click on that. You're going to go select trace area, place your box around your image. It just needs to cover the entire thing. And we're going to increase our threshold so that all of the edges has yellow on it. So if you see like these little green leaves right here, they don't have yellow on it. So I'm just going to increase my threshold and I'm just trying to fill that in. You don't have to have the entire thing filled in. So I just want to make sure that all of my edges has yellow around it. And we're going to go trace and detach. It's going to take a little minute on, with version 4.4. My version 3.6, almost instantaneous, but it's going to take a little minute. And depending on how efficient your computer is, if you don't have a lot of memory, you don't have a fairly decent graphics card, it sometimes can shut down your Silhouette Studio. If you had a bunch of other files and a lot of graphics open, it can shut it down. If that happens, just open back up, open up the one file, trace and detach, and then, go from there. So now we've traced and detached. If we click on the white area, or if this was a PNG, it will be transparent. You click and move. So you've removed that background, whether it is white or transparent, you have removed that. Okay. So now the top part wasn't connected. So that really is its own separate piece. And then we also have the bottom. So we're going to make sure that we do not move anything. We're going to select the two and I'm just going to group them together. The size on this is 19.346 by 19.730. But in its original state, this says 20.172 by 20.322. So again, tracing and detaching gives you the exact size. And now when you size it, it is going to go by the very end of these leaves and the end of this flower, the top of the ear to the bottom of the foot as you are resizing it. Make sense? Y'all with me? Let me know. Y'all with me on that part? Any part that needs clarification? Definitely invite a friend to watch. Okay, I got a yes over here. Yep. Okay, y'all with me? All right, cool beans. So with me, cool beans. So now, the person that originally asked about this wanted to know, how do you go about putting a name in the middle, right? So you're going to go to the A on this side. You're going to click anywhere on your screen. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just kind of start it in the middle of this right here, right? And you're going to type out whatever the name is. So I'm going to type out, I'll type out my last name and I'll put my boys' name. Well, their names are long. I don't think I want to put their names. My kids' names are long. And I have a really bad problem. Although most people call them just Makai and Zion as their mother, I really can't, because that's not their name. Their names are Makai Jeremiah. That is my son's first name. And Zion Imani, that is his first name. It drives me nuts when my family just says Zion and Makai. MJ, I can handle. So my kids' names are long. Let's not use them. Let's do I mean, on the other one I did I did Honestly Speaking. Let's see, what should we do? I'm trying to think, what name should I put? Oh no. Trying to think of a last name. I'm just gonna keep it like I did last time. I'm just gonna put in Honestly Speaking, HON, honestly. So you're gonna type it out, and then you're gonna click on the word. You're gonna come over to your color palette, and I always recommend adding color. That should be the first thing you do, is add some sort of color. Then you're gonna go to the A that's underneath on this side, and this is where you're going to select your font. I'm just going to choose Antoinette because it's at the top. All right. And we're going to increase the size of this. So this technically isn't true to size either when it comes to text. It's not true to size. I'm going to make a duplicate. I'm going to convert this to path. See how that box, like it shrunk significantly. We go here. That box is huge. It says that this is 11.320 by 17.586. That is because it is accounting for what, like, there's a letter that's going to be really, really big. A letter's going to be really, really long. It's going to have a hanging letter. So it's accounting for a lot of real estate that's not really being utilized. This is another reason why your designs, once you go to print them, you're like, whoa, this ain't the size I wanted, because of your text box. So once I converted it to path, the true size of this is only 2.757 by 17.403. Okay. So you want to see the true size, you need to convert it to path. But it also means you can no longer click on this to change the text. Can y'all hear me? Because she says there's no sound. Is it her device, or is you guys can't hear me? Okay, I'm back. Then that was your device. But now, see, like on this one, I can change it. So with this, I'm just going to use I'm just going to line it up that way so I can still stay in text mode. And then we're going to make a duplicate to retype it. If you want to go back to the A on the left-hand side, type it out, then go to the A on the right-hand side, you definitely can. It's a lot of work. It's still a text box. So all I'm going to do is duplicate, and I'm just going to change the color by going to my color palette. I'm going to click on my dropper, and I'm just going to sample the pink. All right. So I know that's the one I want to edit. I'm going to double click on that. All right. So on TikTok, someone said Ashley. Uh-oh. So I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to keep them all lowercase. So Ashley. And then over here, someone said Riley. So I'm going to go Riley. Okay. For most times when it comes to this design, what people use for the middle names is I love glitter. You can get that over on Creative Fabrica, however you choose to say the name. But we do have a link, and if you use that link, we do get a small commission, but it's no different to you. I highly recommend getting the yearly subscription, and you just pay for it one time for the year. It's like $3.99 per month, but you pay it just for the year. You get unlimited downloads. I have a video that I need to do that you guys need to be mindful of, because I end up coming across some information. So I'm going to do that video later. But it's called I Love Glitter. It is on Creative Fabrica. There's also a version that is on DaFont, but I'm not sure if the one on DaFont has all of the glyphs. So what you're going to do, once you typed out your name, you just click on it. you're going to go back to the A on this side. And you're going to type up here, and then look for I love glitter. Mine is already open, is why it's at the top for recently used. So I'm going to click on that. That might be a little bit too big for this. So we're just going to shrink it down. Now, when you have two names, there is a separator of a heart that most people use. If you have designer edition or above, you're going to have the glyph guide. You're going to have the glyph guide. I mean, the glyphs, not guide, just glyphs. That is this G at the top. If you don't have designer edition or above, you can still use them. However, you're going to have to use the character map that is outside of Silhouette Studio. All right, come on now. Why are you twisting? Hold on. Tighten up my tripod here. Okay. So I'm going to show it to you both ways. If you have designer edition or business edition, you're simply going to double click on the font. You see there's a flashing blue line in between the names. The two names. I'm going to delete that space. And I'm going to come over to the glyph guide, right? And it says, I love glitter. This is going to show you all of the extra characters. It's going to show you all of the extra ones, including this little heart. So if we click on that heart, oh, wait, shoot, it was there. It puts in the middle. So there's a heart that's open, and then there's one that's closed right there. So I can do the one that's open, or I can do the one that's closed. And then for the ends, you're going to click your mouse on the end, and there is one that's just a line like this, or the line on the other side like that. Now, if this happens, oops, wait a minute, let's delete. Oh, what happened? Okay. So if this happens to where once you put the line, why you keep tilting? If you put the line and you see how this one went underneath, it's okay. Double click on it. This blue bar, you're going to click on that and pull that out until that comes back up to the top. So now you're going to click on it and you're going to shrink this down. And you'll resize it. So if you want your little hanging parts to come out more, you're just going to, resize that until it comes out. So that part is up to you and how you want it sized. Once you have it to the size that you want, or even before then, you're going to right click, and I'm going to duplicate this. You're going to click on it and you're going to weld and right click and group it. So now it's all one piece. If you're cutting it from vinyl, if you're going to do sublimation, you technically can leave it exactly how it was. You didn't have to weld it. But that is how you add that name and put the little heart in the middle and add the end pieces. If you have designer edition or business edition of Silhouette Studio. Now, here is what you do if you have the free version. You can still do this. You can still do it with the free version. You just have to use your computer's character map. Also, for fonts that have glyphs, it is best for you to, if you have an option of like two different ones, it is going to be best that you install the TTF, True Type font. So if it has glyphs, we're going to install the TTF, True Type, okay? So now here's what you do if you have only the free version. we're going to click on search and we're going to type in character. And then you should see something that comes up that says character map. You're going to open that. It is going to give you this. And you're going to find the font. And so I'm on I Love Glitter. It's really small compared to Silhouette Studio. It is tonight, okay? I actually do have, you know what? I haven't released it on my website yet. I keep forgetting. So I do have a glyph guide where I've actually gone through the same way I did my Samantha font. I did the same thing for this, for those who just want the free version. Actually, it's even better than the glyph guide in Silhouette Studio because you can see all of the options all at one time, but I'll have to put it on the website. So, because this is small, I'm going to go, the first time I did the solid heart, this time I'm going to find this one. So you're going to double click on it. It's going to put it down here. So now I'm going to scroll down, come past all of this. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, do I not have the true type font? This is one of the ones I did not do it. Ooh, I think this is one of the ones I didn't. Okay. Oh, Lord, now I'm going to have to find this font. Yeah, because this is open type. All right. Dang it, 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 dang it. Okay. Pause for one moment. I'm going to just do this one for now, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you the difference. So take note. This is the O. This is the open type. So you guys can see. You see how D look crazy? Ooh, they have Braille. Wait a minute now. Is that what that really was? Did I just see Braille? Or maybe I'm tripping. Oh, it does. I keep going past it. Oh, that's kind of interesting that that one has. I know I just saw Braille. I know I'm not crazy. I don't know what happened to it. Back is when I saw the dots. Aha, there it is. Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know they had Braille on this. Ooh. I like to be all inclusive. Like when you have fun, you can do when you can do things, and have the Braille. Like, oh wow. I mean, it's of course that's have to have a thing where it's raised, but wow, that's kind of interesting. Anywho, let me go off of this. But I'm gonna do this one, and then you're gonna see the difference in true type and open type. Look at how good God worked, because I didn't know I was gonna have to do it this way. So now you'll see why you want to install the true type version of it. So I'm going to just on this one, I'm just gonna go copy, right? I'm gonna come back over to Silhouette Studio, double click. I'm going to delete that heart, and I'm going to go Control V to paste, and you see that pasted that in the middle. Now I got to save this and shut it all down. So give me a second. Let me first find out where. So let's see if it's in my downloads. I don't even know when how long ago I did I Love Glitter. So I Love Glitter. Let's see. I know the folder should be somewhere. I Love Glitter. See, these are my the I Love Glitter glyphs. Hold on. Un momento. Okay. Where is the font? I Love Glitter. Where is my download for this? I may have to just go over to Creative Fabrica and re-download it because I don't feel like looking for it. I don't feel like being that deep. Oh, I don't know why my glyph guide not opening up. but I have one. I've already gone through the whole glyph guide. So we're going to bring this over yonder. Come on. We're going to search for I love, not live, I love glitter. And I'm just going to re-download it. So I'm going to download. And we're going to open up. We're going to unzip it. Why in the heck does my phone keep tilting? And we're going to extract all. I'm just going to leave it here. So I'm just going to go extract. And we're going to have to shut down Silhouette Studio. So this is the true type, the TT one. So I'm going to come over to Silhouette Studio. Let's go ahead and just save this file. Save as, save to hard drive. March 9th live. Remember to delete me because I don't need it. And we're just going to hit OK. And we're going to shut this down. But I don't remember what's behind here. So let me come back like this first. And I'm going to cover y'all because I don't remember when I shut this down, what's going to come up. And I want to make sure there's none of my back. Oh, wait, I was just on Creative Fabrica. That's what's going to come up. Okay, I can go back. I just didn't want to be in my back end stuff. So we're going to come here and we're going to go to the true type and we're going to install it. So you right click and you go install. Windows has made a change. Come on. Windows has made a change. It used to say install for all users. Now it simply says install. They just, Windows 11 did like 2 updates back to back. So now on my Windows 11, it no longer says install for all users. It just says, it went back to just install. So we're going to hit install on that. And that's kind of weird because it should have told me that it was already installed. That's kind of weird because it's already installed. And we're going to open up Silhouette Studio. Oh, and then now with this one, okay, wait, that's kind of interesting that it's not. Why are you still showing me? Oh, all right, let's go to character map. Okay, why are you still showing me? I don't know why it's still showing me O instead of T. Did I not install it? And see, before I used to say install all users. I get a feeling that it did not actually install because I don't understand. Normally, because it's already there, it should have told me that I already have this font. Do I want to overwrite it? But it didn't, which kind of has me a little bit concerned because before this, it used to be a shield and it will say install for all users. I don't know. Okay, wait, let's see. Show more options. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking with fish grease. So I had to go to more options. Again, these are new changes of Windows 11. So I went down to the more options and now it says install for all users. Boom. And it still didn't give me my, hey, you already have this font, but let's see. So now we're going to go back to the character map. Why are you not installing? I don't get this. Why are you not installing properly? Because it's still showing me the open font instead of the true type font, which it should just overwrite it. Yeah, that's so weird. That's so strange. I don't want to shut it down. I shouldn't have to shut it down. I wonder why it's not changing to true type. It is just staying at open type. I love. Okay, let's see something. Downloads. I'm just gonna go back up to the folder. I'm gonna just try it. Just go. Okay, I love glitter. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to right click, show more options, install for all users. Okay, this is what I was looking for. I don't know why it didn't come up before. This is what I was wanting it to do. It needs to say, this font is already installed. Do you want to replace it? So whenever, I don't know, for some reason, when I download it and it just opened up the file, it wasn't accepting it. So I just went directly to the file, clicked on it, and then did it. So you guys can see sometimes the system just acts crazy. So I'm going to tell it, yes, I want it to switch it. Now we're going to go back to our character map. Let's bring Silhouette Studio back over here. Okay, you still didn't change. Why did you still not change? That's so weird. It's still not changing. I don't know why. I installed the true type font. I don't know why it still says, oh. Okay, well, this one is just not going to give it to me. Yeah, it's still showing me all these other. Oh, no, it is there. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, it still says, oh, but we now have them. I just don't know why it's still saying, oh. But you guys saw, I went through it completely before, and it did not show the other glyphs. Now, it is, at least it's showing it. It's showing me all this other foolishness here, but at least now when we get all the way to the bottom, it's showing the other glyphs. I just don't know why it's still showing an O up here. Okay, so now I'm going to, so there's a couple of different end pieces. There's one that have like little squigglies. There's ones with hearts and stuff. So I'm going to choose this one. You're going to select it, or you can just double click. So double click, it'll be on there. I'm going to do the heart, well, this one and this one. Oh wait, this is the heart one, and then this is the heart one. There's an open heart there. So I have all of them. I'm just going to go copy. Let's open up the file that we were working on. So March 9th, remember to delete me. So I'm going to double click on here, go to the end, and I'm just going to go paste. See, I have all of them now. I'm going to delete this one. Let's say I want, okay, this one. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to cut, come back up to the Y, paste it. Ooh, I did the wrong one. So I can delete that one. Come to this side. I'm going to go paste. So there's that little swoopy swoop. If I wanted this one, I'm going to go cut. I'm going to go back. Let's go paste. So it's the hearts at the end. You can decide which one you want. If you don't have to do all of them, you can just go to character map and just select just the one. And then, just paste it like I did before. But there's all of the different glyphs. This one has a little bit more swirl to it. Let's try this one. So I'm just going to go cut, come up here, paste. So it's a different type of heart. Again, you can decide how you really want it to look. All right. But that's how you'll do it if you have the free version of Silhouette Studio. You have to go through your character map. So I'm just going to increase that, move that over, and I'm just going to turn my line color off. So this has the closed heart and it has the long swoopty swoops here. I'm just going to group it. It has all those different curly cute, different glyphs to it. And the silhouette glyph one does have these as well. It's not just in character map. They have those as well if you have designer or business. But that is how you would add them. That's how you would add a custom name to the middle of this. Okay. Hello, I just got a cameo where you are in the right place. Oh, hey, Little Crown Creations. That's what that is. How do you unzip? That's my problem. So it's called extract. When you have a zipped folder, you're just going to click on it. What was I just looking at? Bill, whole animal, watercolor backgrounds. I don't even know. So tie-dye digital. I don't know which one to do. So we're just going to go here. And so when you click on it, I have Windows 11. It's technically right at the top, and you're just going to hit extract all, or you can right click and choose extract all. That is how you unzip. Hello from Atlanta. Hey, King. Let's see. I hope you recorded this, please. It's great. So all playbacks are available on my YouTube channel, Silaholics Anonymous. So on TikTok, of course, there's no playbacks, but I am streaming live to Facebook and YouTube right now. So you can go over to my YouTube, Silaholics Anonymous, for the playback. It stays over there. Let's see. Just found you. Wait, just found you. What you doing? I'm all ears. So the first font that said honestly, that was Antoinette. And then the middle font is I Love Glitter. Let's see. Where did you find that? Sorry. I'm not sure what part you said. Where did I find that? Because it's been a while ago. So just re-ask that question. I do have business edition. So if you have business edition, once you click on a font, it is, so over here on the A, you have the regular font, and then the G is your glyphs. All right, new here. How did you create this? I have business edition. I did not create this part of it. Oh, we are at 1 hour and 8 minutes. I gotta bring it off here, y'all. I did not create this part. This was a file from, it was purchased by someone from a site, probably Etsy or Creative Fabrica. So I did not create the monogram part. I'm just showing how you can add the name to the center. Would you believe I don't have enough CPU RAM memory to run Silhouette, but I take much of your advice. So you probably can't run the latest versions of it. Although it is slightly different, it is still the most stable version and it works the exact same way. The only difference is you won't be able to save as like a PNG, a JPEG, like all of those things. But if you download and install either version 3.6 or 3.8, that will probably work better on your computer than any of the version 4s. The version 4 is very, very needy. It requires a lot of resources, but if you just want to kind of use it to design and print from, use version 3. It's going to look different, but everything works the same. All right. So that is how you do that. And then I'm going to show you how to do the cut lines on this. So we're going to put a pin in this for now. So we're going to group this together. Let's see. I have basic edition. Which is best, business or designer? I'm always going to, I mean, of course, business edition would be the best version because that is the highest version. That is going to unlock all tools and features. You get the majority of the features in designer. Business edition it's the top features of that one is the ability to cut to multiple machines at one time and the ability to save in different file formats other than Silhouette Studio version. So you can save as PNGs, PDFs, JPEGs, and SVGs. That is the best part of Business Edition. But if you just want to open up SVGs and just have access to like the glyph guides, you can do Designer. If you use the link that's in my description, you can get Designer for $25 and you can get Business for $50. She says, shut the front door. I never knew how that worked. You were awesome. Thank you. Well, you answered my questions before I even asked. You could use that brain, huh? You can use that brain on puff vinyl, maybe. I can use what? Huh? I'm not sure what you mean. I purchased your color chart. I have not added at all to Silhouette. Do I use the color dropper? I do. You don't add the color chart to Silhouette Studio. I don't recommend that you do that because it's just going to be really long. You're still not going to know the true colors. You need to know what it looks like. So what you have to do is print it and press it to, like if you're doing sublimation, I have it on glitter cardstock. I have it on fabric. I have it on a tumbler. I have my color chart printed from a DTF printer. I have my color chart printed from my rolling printer. I have my color chart printed onto glossy paper, matte paper, sticker paper from my regular Epson pigment ink printers. Any media and any printer that I use, I print out my color charts. That way I can look at it. I can see this is the color that I want on this particular media. And this is the color code that I'm going to put in so that I get those results. That is the best way to use a color chart. You can also use a color chart like the Pantone books, and they're pretty pricey, but they'll have color codes in those, and those are pretty universal across the board. So should you always install TTP and not worry about, I mean, so for me, if you have the option of one, like not every font has both. If it only has TTP, of course, TTF, you're going to install the True Type font. If it only has Open Type font, you're going to do that. But if it has both, it's just go ahead and do the TT. Yeah, do the True Type. For a lot of the fonts, they don't come up. So I showed that part. When we were in the straight up Open Type, the glyphs were not there. When I install the True Type, the glyphs show up. All right. Okay, so that's that one. We're going to come back to this one when it's time to get it all set up for rolling. That's still coming. So now this created this, and we're going to go through how that's done. All right, so this is Varsity. Numbers come with the outlines on them automatically. But if you don't want the outline, you just want the inner part, you're just going to type it out as lowercase letters. But numbers automatically come with the outline on it. But the difference in these, I'm going to make this bigger. Do you see how it's very thin here? the spacing is different, and you don't have the outside part. Even if I made that the exact same size as the 365 that's there, it's still going to be thinner. I wanted it to be a certain size, so I'm going to customize this for what I want. The other part of this is the letters are close together when you just type them out. So you're going to go over to character spacing, and we're going to add a little bit of spacing in between that. So when I do my offset, they're not connected. All right. Of course, as always, I recommend, why do you keep tilting? Okay. I recommend that you always duplicate. Then we're going to release compound path and ungroup. All right. I needed to release compound path because I don't want all of these lines over here for the 365. Now, for my 6, it has an inner section to it. So I have to create that part. The inside here, and for the inner part, it's the outside. So there's 1, 2, 3. So this is the outside one. So I want that and the inner 6. I'm going to change the colors on those. Okay. I'm going to change this one too so you can see. So see, those are 2 different ones. I'm going to hold down shift, click the 6, and I'm going to make that a compound path. So that's giving me my opening for the 6. So I'm going to hold down shift, click on my 3 and my 5 and move them over here. And now they need to be a little bit closer. So I'm just going to move those over and distribute them horizontally. Okay. So now I just have the inner part. I need to create my own offsets to create this effect. All right. You're going to do step 1. You're going to select them all, and you're going to go over to your offset window, and you're going to put an offset. And this is the same in any design software, really. Any vector-based software, there should be an offset, well, except for Affinity. They don't. It's kind of weird how you have to do it in Affinity. It's also annoying. So I'm going to go to offset. I'm going to make it where it's corner. And there is no set number. Don't pay attention. Don't ask, what's the distance? What number did you put it at? Everyone's one's going to be different because it depends on how big or how small your initial object or your initial element is. In this case, my letters HSINK365. That is what's going to determine how big or small that is. You are just eyeballing it to see, the general distance. I'm going to take this up some because I want it to be a little bit thicker, but not that thick. So I'm probably going to go around like 0.2 on this one. Okay. And I'm going to hit apply. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and color it just so y'all can see all the different layers. And then I'm going to Control G, Command G on a Mac to group it. I'm going to do another offset. This one, I want to be bigger. And only saying that because of the way that she sent it to me. You can decide how big or how small you want it to be based off of the example that was sent to me. I know that hers is a lot thicker. So we're going to increase the offset. And I almost want them to touch. I want them to overlap. Okay? And I'm just going to hit apply. Oh, my towels are here. And I didn't go high enough because I got like a little piece right there. That's fine though. For this one, I'm going to make it a compound path so I can delete. Ooh, child, undo. Yes, it is. It's for here. And I'm going to delete this point. Those are my rags from my grandmother's funeral. Remember I gave them to Jackie. So we're going to go offset. And we're going to go increase. I think I'm probably do 0.2 like the other one. So I'm going to go up one more. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to hit apply. I forgot to color the other one. That's fine. I'm going to color this one. All right. So now that I have all of my offsets, I want this to be where there is a solid background and the color part is going to be on top. So if I was doing this from vinyl, I'm going to layer it right on top. So all I do is select it all. Ooh, I got to do this in sections. I have to do up here first. Actually, no. Yeah, I want to do up here. Oh, dang it. Something was connected. Yes, that sucks. Anywho. Okay, so it's fine. So I'm going to select it all. I'm going to hold down Shift. And I'm going to click on that last offset I created. That deselected that offset. If I were to change this color, I only have what's in the front. I don't have the back one. So I'm going to keep changing so you can see. You can still see the pink there. So I want everything that's on the top layers. I don't want what's behind it. I don't want that last layer. I'm going to take these and I'm going to make them a compound path. That is giving me the outline, the space, and then the letters. And so how she had hers, this was white. And this was black. Which probably could be a little bit bigger, but it's fine. So now I need to split this because her bottom row was a split color. I'm going to take a box and I'm going to put that where I want that split to occur. You want it to be underneath it. So you have space under here. How far out it goes, as long as it's past it. And you're going to move it up to where you want the split to occur. We're going to hold down Shift and we're going to copy. We're going to hold down Shift and click the word HSINK365. And we're going to copy that. Once you copy it, you're going to crop or subtract. It doesn't matter which order you go in. Crop takes away the top. I have the bottom. I'm going to make that a different color. And I'm going to group it together. I'm going to right click and paste in front. And I'm now going to subtract. Okay. Now this one's a little bit tricky because it's separated too. If you want them to just be, because on hers, these two parts were the same color, only the bottom part was different. But on my example, I have 3 different colors because y'all know I'm all about branding. So we're going to always rock the CMYK. So I'm going to click off. I'm going to highlight everything up here, hold down Shift, click on my white, change this color and group it. Drag and select over the top portion of 365, hold down Shift, click on the back white layer to deselect it. we're going to make that and group it. And then the bottom one, boom. And if I wanted to really make this truly, on brand, ooh, I don't like that in black though. Ooh, let's not do that. We're going to leave you as white. There you go. Now it's a totally different step. I'm pretty sure the question's going to come. Well, what if I wanted the outline to be one color and the inside to be another? Y'all got to come back for a different, although I actually have a full video on that. You can actually go over to Silaholics Anonymous on YouTube. There is a full video, or you can always join one of my classes and get access to the student union. If you sign up for any of our classes, you do get access to our exclusive student union. I highly recommend, if you would like to expand your knowledge in Silhouette Studio and designing in general, it starts with understanding the foundations and understanding the essentials and the tools and what they do. And then you'll be able to put all of these things together and freely design. With that being said, I highly recommend that everybody under the sound of my voice is enrolled in Essentials to Silhouette Studio. It breaks down every single tool and function of Silhouette Studio that you're going to need to create some sort of design. Everything from subtract to crop to weld to text to tracing to replicate to warp to rhinestone tools to divide, making boxes, text, crop, like literally everything that you can think of is within those 30 days. So it is a great investment. It's $83.65 currently. And I don't want to say thank my grandmother because but due to some life events here, I have not changed that structure. So it's still $83.65 for that. Take advantage of it while it's still hot. And while it's at that price. All right. We've set this up. Now, let's say you are someone that designed in Silhouette Studio, but you want to be able to cut this from your EcoSolvent printer. What do? How do you set cut lines? That is the next thing that we are going to get into as far as how to set those cut lines, okay? Do you prefer Windows 10? I'm not sure everyone wants to upgrade. I mean, they're pretty much the same. It's some stuff in Windows 11 that's annoying to me, but it's pretty. I will say the one thing that I do like is there was a glitch in Windows 10 where my photos would not open. If it was on, I don't save to my hard drive at all. I save to external drives in case anything ever happens to my computer. Any pictures that were in my that were on my external hard drives, on my cloud drives, they would not open. It would say there's no program found. And we went through this thing with Dell. They were trying to put it back into where the picture viewer opens up. It just wouldn't work. Well, with the latest update of Windows 11, I now can actually open up pictures and just preview them and be able to do quick edits and stuff on them. So I will say for me, for that part, Windows 11 was definitely worth upgrading. But I've been on Windows 11 for well over a year. I've been on Windows 11 for a while. Okay, now let's get into for those who have a Roland BN20 and how you would create your cut lines for your Roland BN20 to know where to cut. Can I fill a shape with a different graphic? For example, can I fill a trophy with eyes? I know it sounds weird, but I need to do it. So if you have if it's a JPEG and it's a digital background, or even a PNG, well, I guess a PNG will be transparent background, but you would basically crop it to it. So if you have the shape, if the shape was also a JPEG or a PNG, you have to trace it to vectorize it and make it a path. And then you're going to crop that pattern to it. If it's just single images and you're trying to arrange them all in there, you can, but then you're going to have to individually crop each of those eyes, if that kind of makes sense. So I don't know exactly how your files are set up. How your initial files are, it's very important because the steps may be different. There is not, I'm not gonna say it's not universal, but there are different steps depending on if it is a raster or bitmap type file, meaning a JPEG or PNG, compared to it being vector. Like there are different steps. So if I don't know exactly what elements you're using, it's hard for me to kind of say exactly which steps to do. I will be practicing using the glyphs, never use them. Have you used character map UWP? It's larger. I don't really need it. I just showed that for others. So you guys, she says it shows larger, whatever that is. I use my glyph guide in Silhouette Studio, or if I'm in a different program, I'll use that. I don't really use a character map like that anymore. Money well spent. I'm guessing you're talking about the Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Okay, so in order to get the lines to be able to get it to cut in with your rolling, you had to first create a cut line area. So we had to trace and detach this part here, right? So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to open up a new window and I'm going to paste. Definitely need this to be this big. So let's just take it down to around like 11-ish, 12-ish, somewhere in there. Okay, that's, ooh, no. Let's go back up beyond. Okay, 11.6 something. All right. So I don't remember. Okay, I didn't weld this. So we're going to weld it and we're going to group it. And I'm not going to go over bleed lines because that'll be a whole nother long video. I'm just going over how to set your cut lines, okay? Not going over setting bleeds. You would select the entire thing and we're going to copy it. Then you're going to paste in front. Then you're going to fill it with a random color or whatever color you have your cut contour set up to. You may want to select that. I'm just going to use this green. That's normally the one I use because it's really, really bright. Once you fill it with color, you're going to weld. Even if your pieces don't touch, I recommend that you weld and you make that a part of your sequence, just in case you ever do have something that needs to be welded together. So no matter what, I make that a part of my sequence. Select it, weld, and then group. This is your cut contour. For your regular design, make sure there's no line color. So I'm just going to select the whole thing, go up to my line color and choose no color, which is that first block that has like a little grid in it. So no color. I also want this to be closer to the sides so that my rolling does not push out a bunch of unnecessary vinyl. So this is what, about 11. I'm going to come over here to my design page and I'm going to make my height 11.5. 11.5. Once I do that, I'm going to go File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm going to go Honestly Speaking, Funny Live, please delete me. And we're going to go to Save As, Portable Document Format, i.e. PDF, and you're going to hit OK. We're then going to come over to Illustrator and go File, Open up that file, and this is how it's going to look. you're going to click on that. I didn't group it. Dang it. It's better when it's grouped because, I don't know, I thought I grouped it. It's better when it's grouped because you just click it one time. But I just held down shift and clicked all of them. So you're going to click on that. And you're going to come to your, like, you can just come to the color over here. You can go to the one at the top. Or go to swatches, but you basically just need the swatch. So if I go here, or if I click on, well, I'm just going to come to the top up here. Let me move y'all so y'all can see. I'm going to click there, or you can click in here. Doesn't matter which one, but I want to go to my libraries because I already have one that is set up for rolling. So I'm going to click on my drop down. I'm going to go to user defined and see it says rolling. I'm going to click on that, and there is my spot color. I'm going to click on that. And it defaulted to where it's the fill color and not the line color. Technically, you really could leave it this way because when it goes over to, what do people call? When it goes over to VersaWorks, because it says cut contour, it's automatically going to remove the color, but I don't like chancing it. So I'm going to just take this little arrow right here and just flip that. So now that is around the edge. And I simply go File, Save, because it's already a PDF. And that is the format that we need for VersaWorks. I can't show you VersaWorks. I don't have VersaWorks on this computer. So now you're going to open that up in VersaWorks and you're going to see your marching red ants. That's how you set it up. One more time. We're going to come back over here. Let's take our HSINK365. We're going to go copy. New. Paste. I'm going to max this one out. So I'm going to go, it's always weird, like for adhesive vinyl, it's a really only like 8.3. If it's HTV, I think I only really get 18.1. I'm just going to make it 18 to be on the safe side, which means this, I'm going to shrink down to fit within this 18. Now, what's different about this is I want the white to cut. I'm actually not trying to cut the middle part. I need the white to cut. So that way it'll print and it's going to cut the outside part around it. So kind of sort of the same thing. We're going to just group this together. I want to make a duplicate just so I can show you the other way. We're going to copy. We're going to paste in front. I'm going to add my green. I'm going to weld. And I'm going to group. And put that back on my page. Okay. And then we're going to go File, Save As, Save to hard drive, HSINK365, layer, delete me, please. Portable document format. What the heck was this? What kind of name? Okay, and okay. We're going to go over to Illustrator, File, Open, first file. Click on here. Ooh, wait a minute. Hold down Shift. Why are you not grouped? I don't understand that. Probably should just made a compound pad. And we're going to go here, flip it, and something weird is going on here. Let me come back over here because why do I have Ungroup. How do I get breaks in here? I surely do. Okay. So for my white, it was showing those lines because this was not solid. So I'm going to click on my white, right click, release compound path, put my mouse over my white, right click and weld so that that is solid. We're going to select this again. We're going to group it, copy, paste in front, green, weld. This time I'm going to make this a compound path and put that on my design page. File, save as, save to hard drive, PDF, whatever I name that. And yes, I want to replace it. File, open up this. Haha, now I don't see those crazy lines. Click on it, the whole thing selects. Cut contour, flip it, file, save. That is all that I do. That's it. That's all. So for me, I rather do them in Silhouette Studio. Now there are certain things depending on like how well of a quality your image is. Like I know one of the videos I have, I pre-recorded it. It's like that image where it's like the little half face and they'll say like different things, blessed teacher, and it's they have glasses on but no nose. That one. And because she has like it's a watercolor and the way the hair is kind of wispy and it has all those extra pieces. If you got one from a Facebook group, you know, someone shared the file, if you traced it or you found it online, you use remove.bg, like all these different scenarios, you're not going to have a true PNG that's not going to give you a grayish color. You need their PNG that was saved properly. It is going to affect the quality. I have a whole video coming out about that. But for the most part, as long as you're able to trace it and get a good trace, sometimes you're going to have to go in there and you're going to have to mess around with your edit points and make sure that the cut lines are right where you want them. But it's either designing it, you know, putting your tags, doing your shapes, or you're going to do trace and detaches and things like that. But the cut contour part is the same no matter what. And for how to create your cut contours, I highly recommend you go to Honestly SpINKing and check out that video. Okay. So any other questions? Oh, someone asked, I think something about print settings for cutting bigger. Hold on. Let me see. Someone asked about, where is it? I know I saw it. I know I saw it. I know I saw a question about print settings. Something about printing bigger. Oh, there it is. In Silhouette Studio, how do you turn off the print line to print larger? I'm not sure what you mean by turn off the print line to print larger. All you have to do to be able to print larger is make sure you have a printer that can print that size. And you're just going to set your design page to the size paper you want to use. Right now, the last thing that I printed was an 11 by 17 print for an obituary. So right now, my printer, my pigment ink printer is set to 11 by 17 landscape. So my print border is showing 11 by 17 landscape. So let's say I wanted to put this on 13 by 19. I'm going to rotate this because I'm going to print this on my 13 by 19 paper, right? Yes, my box is still there. Ignore that. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. That does not matter, y'all. Y'all stress over that, and it does not matter. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't, because your print border is based off of the last thing that you printed. Once you go to print again, it is going to adjust. So you can ignore it. So we're going to go File, Print. And I'm going to take paper out of here because I don't want it to print. I'm going to remove my tray so that it doesn't try. Well, it's not going to pick up on paper anyway because this is 13 by 19 and it is currently set for 11 by 17. So I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to exit out of that. That's some new with the new update. It happens with Silhouette Studio and some other program. It's stupid. It's annoying. So just exit out of it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to my, nope, not Sublimation. Where is my Pigment ink printer? And I'm going to go Preferences. I'm going to go 13 by 19. I don't even know what that was. I'm just going to put 13 by 19 because it says 13 by 19. Oh, here it is, one right here, 13 by 19. And we're going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit Print. Immediately, my print border, once it's done spooling, will jump. That's all you have to do. Oh, wait. It was still in landscape. So it jumped, but it's in landscape. So my bad. Print. We go back to print. And preferences. See, I was in landscape. I'm going to go to portrait. I'm going to go OK. I'm going to go print. It's going to spool again, and then you'll see that it gives me the right print border. If you have version 4.4 or later, 4.4, 4.5, you have what's called print preview. Ignore that ish too. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. It is going to, okay, wait, why you may move? Why you keep jumping back to landscape? Okay, that went. But why does this keep going back to landscape? Oh, shoot, no, cancel. Print. Am I tripping? Oh, it says 11 by 17. Oops, my bad. Okay, I don't know why. I clicked on one that said 13 by 19. I'm just going to click on this one. 13 by 19. Did not realize that I was on the wrong one. So 13 by 19. I'm going to hit OK. This time I'm just going to hit Apply and cancel. Why is it still doing landscape? That's so weird. But if I open up a new page, it's showing the right way. It still will print correctly. I don't know why my print border, see, like on this one, it's showing the correct way. I don't know why it's not changing over here, but trust me, it will print the correct way. I don't know why it's not changing though. I'm going to change my whole printer. So I'm going to go over here to my Sublimation one. That one I do need to remove it because there is 13 by 19 paper in there and I don't want this to print. So I'm going to go to my Sublimation one. I'm going to go to Preferences. I'm going to choose my 13 by 19 and I'm going to go OK and I'm going to go Print. If it does, I'm going to turn off Show Print Board and bring it back. I don't know why it's not jumping to how it's supposed to. Oh, I know why. Probably because of this. So we're going to go cancel because it's still registering the other settings probably. I'm going to go turn off. I don't know why it's not switching. It's just acting dumb. Let me see. Print. Legal. Okay. Apply. Cancel. I don't know why it won't turn. That's so weird. Copy. It might be a glitch on that particular page. Okay, see? Look, it changed everywhere else. That page was having a glitch, but as you can see, my print border changed here when I put 8.5 by 14. I don't know what was happening on that other one where it just didn't want to. But this is a good learning lesson for you that if it does not move, it just might be a glitch on that particular design page. But open up another one to kind of verify if it is adjusting. But it is adjusting. I don't know why it's not doing it on that one. So if I go File, Print, and I go 13 by 19, okay, print, it should jump. See, it jumped. I don't know what was happening with that other page. I'm going to cancel all of these prints. All right. So that's that. That is how you change where your print border shows if you really care about it. I really don't pay it any attention. Only time I kind of pay it attention is like I know I'm going to make my design really, really big and I want to make sure that it's not within the margin. I'll kind of have it on, but I'm never concerned with it printing the right way because as long as your print settings are correct, it will print correctly. Okay. So there are no other questions. I'm well over my 1 hour. I got work to do. I'm now setting myself back a whole 55 minutes, but I got through it. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. Don't forget to visit our website, shop.hsink365. There we go. So we're just going to go here. Boom. Here is where you will be able to sign up for my classes. So if you want more in-depth structured training on designing as well as Silhouette, like just learning to use Silhouette Studio, we also have a Photoshop essentials going on live right now. We have 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks left. 2 weeks. No, we have 3 weeks because we have 1 more week of basics, of the foundation, the essentials, and then we have 2 weeks of designing. So we have 3 weeks left. So that is live and active now. Foundations of Designing is a live class where you can attend the actual live sessions as well as the Creative Business Program. Those are all the current live ones. This, I can't remember which date this was for. The March date, I think is next week. It is, March 3rd. I don't know why I thought this was next week, but I didn't get any emails and I didn't get anything saying someone was on the Zoom. So we're gonna change this to probably the end of March. I didn't know March 3rd. I could have sworn this was the second week in the 17th. Oh, I think on my Zoom I have it as the 17th. I think I never changed it on here because I'm like, I know I didn't get any notification about someone being in the live. So that's supposed to be on the 17th. Because I said it was going to be right before Impressions. So yeah, that will be on March 17th for the Apparel Business Roadmap. We did one already. It's the same information. It's just another session for those who did not catch it the first time. So check out the website. This is also where you're going to find our Sublimation ink in paper. All orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time get shipped out the same day. The chips are back in stock for the 7820, 7840, 7310 printers. We have chip resetters. If you still have the old ones and you're sick and tired of it stopping in the middle of the print, I highly recommend that you go over there and you get a chip resetter. Also, please remember that your cartridges can go bad, and that can be a part of the reason why you are you can't get clean lines, your alignment is off, because it just might be that your cartridge has, it's having issues and it's the problem. We do have the 252 cartridges that you can get if you've been using the same cartridges for a year, 2 years, and you have issues. Instead of just keep pushing air and keep doing all these print head cleanings, just simply try changing out your cartridges, and that a lot of times makes a big difference we do have those on the website as well. Okay. So until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible. And share with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Peace.